Okay, so hi. I think we're on day 5 now. This is day 6, but I'm going to do a day 5 and then do a day 6 because Matt's home. So we're going to talk about the program. Woo! I want to talk a bit more about macros because I feel like since I was going so fast that it didn't really make much sense, or I feel like I need to clarify some stuff. But as far as day 5, it was Friday and I was at work, but it was a pretty easy day. Really didn't eat as much, so I was in a pretty large deficit, and it was day 1 again of my program. I'm on week 6, and it was like full-blown accessories, and it's been a long time since I've had an accessory workout day. Caused me to get like exhausted and a little sore and fatigued, so I'm definitely in, like, I guess the big building part of the program. But as far as macros, so I was thinking about the carbs thing, and I rewatched the video and I realized like it didn't really make sense. So to clarify, I do net carbs because I don't get insulin spikes. I have tested it with blood sugar and all that stuff. So I don't count sugar alcohols, I don't count stevia, I don't count fiber because none of it has an effect on me, so I don't count it. So even though my fiber is at 25 and my carbs are at 36, if I got all my fiber in for that day, that means I would have only had like 11 carbohydrates that my body actually used. So that's what I mean by net carbs. And when I say net, that really that implies intake versus anything that went out. So like net calories are your whole calories minus any calories that you burned. Whatever's left over is your net. So that's what I mean when I say net. So glad to get that clarified. I've realized it was really crazy. But as far as what I want for this challenge, even though I'm trying to cut fat, I am still trying to build muscle. So I'm at a very I want to do a reverse diet during this, but with upped cardio and a lot of hypertrophy work, because if by building muscle, you can cut more fat because your body has to use up more energy. So it starts to metabolize your fat more quickly. So that's the whole point of it. So right now I am at 1450, but I need to be strict with it and let it stabilize and figure out if it's going to be a deficit, how large of a deficit. And I'm going to measure that by stuff like on the scale and my energy levels. Because if I get and I'm steadily losing, I want to up my calories by 50 or 100 and really put those extra calories into the protein and carbohydrate macros, because I'm trying to build muscle, and the best way to build muscle is protein synthesis and blah, 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 blah. And like I said before, I know other people will disagree, but what has worked best for me and for my husband and his logic has been protein and carbs for the 2-to-1 ratio to build more muscle. But I am low carb, so I have to be really careful with it. So I might not get to the 2-to-1 ratio. I am definitely not at that right now. It's probably more like 2 protein or 4 protein, 1 carbohydrate. So I would put all those extra calories into carbs and protein and leave my fats where they are, because I'm doing really well with my fats. I think I have found a good fat point. So, but that could change depending on how my life goes. Might end up dropping fats or having to add more in. But yeah, so the difficult part with this is going to be figuring out what my carbohydrates are going to be, because like I've said, I have to stay away from sugar and wheat predominantly, or that starts to be an issue with my mental health. And I am an educator. I help train people. I have to think really fast. So I can't really be anxious or have brain fog or anything like that. So that's why I'm being really cautious. But we are still figuring that out because Matt is the same way. He just has more allergies. So, hey! So we have to figure out what sort of carbohydrates we're going to eat. We know vegetables and potatoes, but you have to eat a lot of those to get a lot of carbs. Have you thought of any more?
I actually don't eat. I eat potatoes and fruit right now.
Oh yeah, I eat all the vegetables. But that's the struggle, is figuring out.
Beans.
Oh yeah, beans! I need to start eating beans. See, that's what he's for. He knows it all. So beans are going to be, I guess, what I add in next, because I've kind of been adding in, so I started with all vegetables getting added in, the low glycemic ones, low sugar ones, low in fructose, whatever. So a lot of the high fiber ones came back, and I'm doing really well with those. Tomatoes are in, citrus fruits are in, they're all in. This is 411 on vegetables. So then I've put some potato in, very small amounts, and it's worked out really well. I don't do sweet potato, even though I would love to add more of it in, because we do have our own homegrown purple sweet potatoes. They are still high in sugar. That's why they're called sweet potatoes. Even the purple ones, even though they are lower in sugar, so I can't have those all the time. So I have to stick with the russet ones. Because they're just plain white potatoes. They actually are really good for you. They are high in micronutrients, macronutrients. They're low in sugar. I don't know why they got such a bad rap. I really don't. I think it could be the whole, like, that's what everyone uses for fries, but they're low in sugar. Like, they're really good. So that is what I've been adding in. So Matt always makes beans, so I guess that's what I'm adding in next. But I'm also really particular about the beans. They have to be pinto, because they're the ones with like this lowest amount of phthalate, or something that when they start to break down, they produce a lot of gas, and that can cause intestinal distress. It can cause you to get constipated, all of that. Black beans are actually the worst for that. So if you eat a lot of black beans and later you feel bloated, you might want to check that out. It could be the black beans that are causing it, and so you want to try other ones. But pinto beans have been the best. So I'm just going to add those in. So that's where I'm going to get my extra carbs and protein and some fat and fiber. So honestly, I might take the potatoes out and favor the beans, because I love beans, because I love Mexican food. And if I can just get, go to a Mexican restaurant and get like meat, beans, and guacamole and some cheese, I'm set. So yeah, gonna be adding in beans, but yeah, day 5, I already talked about that. It was whatever. It was really, really cold still. But I'm gonna get Matt in here for our day 6, which is technically today, and talk about the program. So see you soon. And if you have not registered for the 250K challenge through bodybuilding.com, you have one more day. I don't know what day it is. I think it's the 19th. I think today is the 19th, but you have until the 21st to register and get everything uploaded. So if you haven't, go to the description below, click on the link where it says info and late registration, and go register. You literally have nothing to lose. So see you in the next one.